20th, 2026. This is a Kearney Board of Aldermen meeting. Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Cindy, have you had a chance to take roll?
I have taken roll. Alderwoman Spencer is out this evening. You have the forum.
Great. We'll move on to public hearings and personal appearances. The first item on the agenda this evening is a public hearing to receive public comments on the petition to vacate utility easements in the Jamestown Estates subdivision to accommodate a proposed final plat of lots 1 through 5 and 10 through 15, reducing the number of lots from 11 to 8 lots. If you wish to speak for or against the proposed petition to vacate utility easements, we'll have you come forward to the podium and state your name and address for the record. Open the floor for public comments. Seeing nobody move, I will close the floor. Next item under the agenda is a public hearing to receive public comments on a proposed code amendment to sections 405, 700, and 410.070 of the zoning ordinance to clarify requirements related to the construction and acceptance of public improvements associated with development. If you wish to speak for or against the proposed code amendment, we'll have you move forward to the podium and state your name and address for the record. Open the floor for public comment and input. Close the floor for public comment and input. Next item is have the honor and privilege to present a proclamation. We have Jennifer Langston Justice here this evening and Cindy Stockton as well here this evening. Two amazing realtors, brokers in the Northland here to receive a proclamation recognizing April 2026 as Fair Housing Month in the city of Kearney, Missouri. We'll read the proclamation and then I'll be happy to give you ladies a few minutes.
Okay.
All right.
A proclamation recognizing April 2026 as Fair Housing Month in the city of Kearney, Missouri. Whereas the pursuit of fair, safe, and equitable housing opportunities for all individuals and families is a cornerstone of strong, inclusive communities. And whereas April is nationally recognized as Fair Housing Month, commemorating the passage of the Fair Housing Act of 1968, which prohibits discrimination in housing based on race, color, religion, sex, disability, familial status, or national origin. And whereas Fair Housing Month serves as an important reminder of the ongoing need to promote equal access to housing opportunities for all people. And whereas housing providers, advocates, public officials, and community organizations play a vital role in ensuring compliance with fair housing laws and advancing equity in housing practices. And whereas continued education, outreach, and enforcement are essential to achieving the vision of fair housing for all. Now therefore, I, Randy Pogue, Mayor of the City of Kearney, Missouri, do hereby proclaim April 2026 as Fair Housing Month in the City of Kearney and reaffirm our commitment to promoting fair housing principles, eliminating discriminatory practices, and supporting equal housing opportunities for all residents. And be it further proclaimed that all residents, businesses, and community stakeholders are encouraged to observe this month by supporting efforts that foster inclusive communities and uphold the values of fairness, dignity, and respect in housing.
Congratulations. Would you ladies like to say anything?
Good evening, and thank you so much for recognizing Fair Housing Month. You know, this is really a piece of education that we can bridge across so many different demographics, right? There is still a huge perception out there that people believe that 20% down is the only way that they can buy a home. And that's just simply not true. And so through fair housing and through education, we can literally change the trajectory of our communities, because what we know is home ownership is the stability of communities. And where renting has a place in every piece, especially the fair housing piece and how we look at how we rent properties, look at how we credential, and look at how we do things, that's very important stepping stone in housing. But when we take strongholds in communities and start to build the foundation of home ownership, we create wealth in our communities. And when we have those strongholds of wealth in communities, we create stronger communities, stronger schools, and stronger economic development all the way around. That's why this is so important across the board, just to have a piece of education to share the message of fair housing and housing in general. And I thank you all in Kearney for taking this to educate all the citizens, people in the room, and anyone that's willing to learn. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Photo op.
We get a photo after?
You're popular tonight. All right, let's go.
Move on to the next item on the agenda, open public comments. Are there any residents that would wish to address their elected board this evening under open public comments? We'll move on to the consent agenda. Does anybody on the board have any questions or any items of discussion on the consent agenda this evening? Seeing none, if we can entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda is approved. At this point, we need to end our legislative session, so if we could consider an adjournment sine die to end our legislative session, and then we will reopen the meeting.
Make a motion to do that, to end our session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Legislative session is closed. We will open our 2026-2027 legislative session with the administrative oaths for our newly elected officials.
How about if I just stand at the podium, and do you two want to stand in front of the podium so Colleen can get a good picture of you? I'm gonna read it slow, so. I do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that all the qualifications
of the office of Board of Aldermen
of the Board of Aldermen
as prescribed by law,
as prescribed by law,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the state of Missouri,
and the state of Missouri,
the provisions of all laws
the provisions of all laws
of this state
of this state,
affecting cities of the fourth class,
affecting cities of the fourth class,
and the ordinances of the city of Kearney, Missouri,
and the ordinances of the city of Kearney, Missouri,
and faithfully demean myself in office,
and faithfully demean myself in office,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Next item on the agenda is election of board president. Each year, our Board of Aldermen must nominate and elect one of their own members to serve as board president for a term of 1 year. Board president would fill in under my absence. If I'm not here, if it is a tie break, the board president would have 2 votes. Would like to open the nomination for an alderman to make a nomination for board president.
I'd like to nominate Dave Lehman for board president.
I'll second that.
We've got a nomination of David Lehman as board president with the first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, David.
Thank you.
Next item is election of a planning and zoning representative. Each year, the Board of Aldermen nominates and appoints one of their own members to serve as a representative on the Planning and Zoning Commission for a term of 1 year. Open the floor for a nomination for a P and Z representative.
David, do you want to do it again?
Sure. Might as well.
Yeah. I'll nominate David.
Yeah, I'll second it.
All right, we've got a nomination of David Lehman with the first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, David.
Thank you.
We'll move on to ordinances on the agenda. First item this evening is a motion approving bill number 21, 2026, presented by Eric Marshall, our Parks and Recreation Director. An ordinance authorizing an agreement between the City of Kearney, Missouri and the Kearney and Bramer Lions Club for support of the Jesse James Park Playground renovation project. Eric?
Thank you very much, Mayor. Included in your agenda packet, the subrecipient agreement with the Kearney and Bramer Lions Clubs is modeled after the agreement that was utilized by the City of Maryville, which is also applying for a Lions Club Foundation grant. This grant requires participation from two separate Lions clubs, and the City of Kearney only has the one club. So within the district, we reached out to the Bramer Lions Club to be the second one that would, if they would support this project. Local funding for this ordinance and for the grant would require a 50% local match, of which the two Lions clubs have to have the 25% of the local match. And again, this subrecipient agreement modeled after Maryville takes into account of the contribution to the Lions Club, which then during the process of the grant, if we are awarded through Lions Club International, the bills and things of that nature, they would pay just for what the project entails. And if any funds are left over at the conclusion of the project, again, if we are awarded the grant, those funds would be returned to the City of Kearney.
Any questions on the report from staff or?
When will we know?
We will know actually in August. The deadline was so tight and I could not guarantee Lions Club International that all the paperwork would be done and sent to them along with bank statements. Of course, if this ordinance passes, that they have to show that the funds are available from those two Lions clubs. So we would wait till August. The thing of that too is we've got some construction that's going to be taking place out at Jesse James Park with the new culvert replacement going in at the entrance. And then also the July 3rd fireworks celebration. We didn't want to have a bunch of construction fence around that in case that project wasn't done. So we would know in August. And I have talked with Talia with the Lions Club International Foundation. We wouldn't have to resubmit any of the information we have. It would just be the final pieces of this and the funding mechanisms.
Are you thinking in 26?
Yes, this August.
When will we receive the grant or know you have the grant
In August.
and start construction in August?
We would start immediately after. As soon as I know, I would order the pieces because we're going to be installing 5 to 6 new pieces out at the park, removing 2 pieces, putting playground surfacing, just what was done at Lions Park and at McWhorter Park, so it's ADA accessible. Sidewalks from the footbridges to the playground and also to the shelters, so anybody will be able to access the shelters, the playground, the other shelter, and the parking lot with smooth surface.
Sweet.
Thank you, Eric.
If
And
I may
sorry.
say, the playground surfacing and all the sensory and ADA handicap equipment coincides kind of like what the Girl Scouts visited with you about. We took that into consideration. There'll be a handicap swing. It's called a corridor, but it's ADA accessible, and our new merry-go-round that we put out there already is ADA accessible as well.
Great. Eric, I appreciate you and your staff always looking for grants and other opportunities to extend in our taxpayer dollars. So best of luck and fingers crossed there. If there are no other questions, if we can read the proposed ordinance on the first reading by title only, please.
An ordinance authorizing a subrecipient agreement between the City of Kearney, Missouri and the Kearney and Bramer Lions Clubs for support of the Jesse James Park Playground renovation project.
Make a motion. I'll second.
Pull the board. I'm sorry, second reading by title only, please. We need that.
An ordinance authorizing a subrecipient agreement between the City of Kearney, Missouri and the Kearney and Bramer Lions Clubs for support of the Jesse James Park Playground renovation project.
Move to approve on second reading. I'll second again.
Pull the board, please.
Alderman King.
Aye.
Alderman Holt.
Aye.
Alderman Lehman.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous and the ordinance is approved. Next item is a motion approving bill number 22-2026 presented by Sheila Ernzen, our city administrator, an ordinance establishing and providing for collective bargaining by law enforcement personnel in the city of Kearney, Missouri. Sheila?
So exactly what the title says, this ordinance would actually add to the codification a process that provides for collective bargaining for law enforcement personnel in the city.
Any questions from the board? If we could read the proposed ordinance, first reading by title only, please.
An ordinance establishing and providing for collective bargaining by law enforcement personnel in the city of Kearney, Missouri.
Move to approve on first reading.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance establishing and providing for collective bargaining by law enforcement personnel in the city of Kearney, Missouri.
I'll make a motion to approve on second reading.
I'll second.
Pull the board, please.
Alderman Holt.
Aye.
Alderman Lehman.
Aye.
Alderman King.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous, so the ordinance is approved. Next item is a motion approving bill number 23-2026 presented by David Pavlich, our Community Development Director, an ordinance amending municipal code sections 405-700 pertaining to stormwater management standards and 410-070 pertaining to required improvements and acceptance thereof. David?
Yes, so this ordinance was prepared by the city attorney, and what it does is it clarifies language related to APWA standards for stormwater and stormwater management, and establishes formal acceptance of public improvements by ordinance. We've kind of done it passively with approval of a final plat. We just established criteria where we come to the board, whether we accept public improvements related to, subdivision improvements and other things.
Any questions from staff? I'm sorry, the board on staff's report? If we could read the proposed ordinance in the first reading by title only, please.
An ordinance amending municipal code sections 405.700 pertaining to stormwater management standards and 410.070 pertaining to required improvements and acceptance thereof.
Make a motion to approve. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance amending municipal code sections 405.700 pertaining to stormwater management standards and 410.070 pertaining to required improvements and acceptance thereof.
Make a motion on second read.
Awesome.
Pull the board, please.
Alderman Lehman.
Aye.
Alderman King.
Aye.
Alderman Holt.
The vote is unanimous and the ordinance is approved. Next item, presented by David Pavlich, our Community Development Director, is a motion approving bill number 25-2026, an ordinance approving a final plat of Jamestown Estates, replat of lots 1 through 5 and 10 through 15, a subdivision in Kearney, Missouri, and accepting dedication of utility easements thereon. David?
Okay, and that's number E. So the Jamestown Estates replat, so they're proposing to reduce the number of lots from 11 to 8 in Jamestown. 11 to 8 in Jamestown Estates. And there's additional easements that are being dedicated with those lots. And so a final plat comes before you today, was recommended unanimously by the Board of Aldermen. I'm sorry, by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Alderman Lehman, as our Planning and Zoning Liaison, do you have anything to add to that report?
There was not a whole lot of discussion. It's pretty straightforward. So it was voted unanimously by the P and Z.
Great. Great. If there are no questions from the board, if we could read the proposed ordinance on the first reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving a final plat of Jamestown Estates replat of lots 1 to 5 and 10-15, a subdivision in Kearney, Missouri, and accepting dedication of utility easements thereon.
Move to approve on first reading.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving a final plat of Jamestown Estates replat of lots 1, 5, and 10-15, a subdivision in Kearney, Missouri, and accepting dedication of utility easements thereon.
Make a motion on second approval.
I'll second.
Poll the board.
Alderman Holt.
Aye.
Alderman Lehman. Alderman King.
Aye.
Vote is unanimous and the ordinance is approved. Next item presented by David Pavlich, our Community Development Director, is a motion approving Bill number 24, 2026, an ordinance approving a final plat of Wilkerson Farm, first plat, a subdivision in Kearney, Missouri, and accepting dedication of right-of-way and easements thereon. David?
Yeah, so this is a final plat related to the fire station location out on Nation Road. This plat would create one lot for the fire station and then a detention tract out adjacent to the fire station. As part of the request tonight in the ordinance, they've submitted a letter of credit as a completion guarantee for a sanitary sewer extension that was used. There's a sewer to be extended to serve lots 1, 2, and 3. They would like to construct that sewer line. It's not a long section, 700 feet long. They like to construct that at the same time they do their site improvements for their building because the contractor is the same contractor. And they're the only one that would be affected by the sewer line. There's no other site plan or other development out there that they can work on. And that's built into this ordinance.
Any question on staff's report? If we could read the proposed ordinance first reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving a final plat of Wilkerson Farm, first plat, a subdivision in Kearney, Missouri, and accepting dedication of right-of-way and easements thereon.
Make a motion on the first read.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving a final plat of Wilkerson Farm, first plat, a subdivision in Kearney, Missouri, and accepting dedication of right-of-way and easements thereon.
Make a motion to approve on second read.
Second.
Pull the board, please.
Alderman King.
Aye.
Alderman Holt.
Aye.
Alderman Lehman.
Aye.
Vote is unanimous and the ordinance is approved. All right, we're back on track. Sorry for jumping around there, guys. Next item is motion approving bill number 26, 2026, presented by David Pavlich, our Community Development Director, an ordinance vacating utility easements in Jamestown Estates. David?
Yeah, so this ordinance is related to the Jamestown Estates final plat. When they reduce the number of lots, creates a situation where there are utility easements that are in the middle of some of the new lots. So this request is to vacate those easements that were along former property lines. The previous plat did dedicate additional replacement easements, so that is addressed as part of that plat. Spire was the only utility company that contacted the city. They all get notified. They authorized the replat. I don't think any of the other utilities have facilities in those old easements, so I think everything's covered. And tonight was an opportunity for them to come forward if they needed to.
Was there anything in those old easements?
No,
Even Spire didn't have anything in it, right?
no, I don't think so. Nope. That's why they authorized it without
Yeah.
an issue.
If there's no questions on the proposed ordinance or of staff, if we could read the proposed ordinance on the first reading by title only, please.
An ordinance vacating utility easements in Jamestown Estates.
Move to approve on first reading.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance vacating utility easements in Jamestown Estates.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Pull the board, please.
Alderman Lehman.
Aye.
Alderman King.
Aye.
Alderman Holt.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous and the ordinance is approved. Next item is a motion approving bill number 27, 2026, presented by David Pavlich, an ordinance approving the Innovation Fourth Plat, Lot 1A site plan as submitted by the Fulfillment House. David?
So yes, the Fulfillment House, currently located in the downtown area, they'd like to build a new building out in Innovation next to the Preview building that pretty much constructed now. We've seen a little bit of activity and innovation. It's a little over 15,000 square foot building, parking lot. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended unanimous approval.
Any questions from the board to staff on the proposed ordinance?
Got anything? Is there a retainage on that?
Innovation has a regional detention basin, so there's not basins on individual
On
sites.
north?
Yes,
Yeah, it's over here.
Yeah.
They put that in, what, 5 years ago?
it's longer than that.
Longer now?
Yeah.
A while back,
Yeah,
yeah.
recent in the time innovation's been around, it's recent. Yeah, it's been a little bit.
If there are no further questions, if we could read the proposed ordinance on the first reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving the Innovation Fourth Plat, Lot 1A site plan as submitted by Fulfillment House.
Make a motion?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving the Innovation Fourth Plat, Lot 1A site plan as submitted by Fulfillment House.
Move to approve on second reading.
I'll second.
Pull the board, please.
Alderman King.
Aye.
Alderman Holt.
Aye.
Alderman Lehman.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous and the ordinance is approved. Next item is a motion approving bill number 28, 2026, an ordinance approving the major commercial center Lot 1C site plan as submitted by Frank's Auto Shop.
So Frank's Auto Shop proposes to build a 1,600 square foot building at 700 North Country, which is the former Pink House barbecue location, former Abby's Frozen Custard location. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended unanimous approval with the condition that the facade be constructed with materials and colors to match the existing building that's on the site. So brick wainscot and then, gray wood siding.
So they're going to completely demolish the current building.
No, it would stay. This would be an accessory building, so it would be an addition.
Will be attached.
No, detached.
Okay, I have a question, and we've been through this before. If you remember when that was originally the Pink House Barbecue, that, he never did finish that detention pond correctly. Did that ever get,
No, we did get certification about that detention basin a long time ago. It was early in my time here with the city.
correct, but now we got another building and more concrete, so now it's,
Actually, it won't, because this new building would be built on the existing parking lot. So that site has parking lot all over, so.
okay, so it's gonna,
It's
he's not
impervious and
increasing that?
impervious. No.
Okay, because I have some concerns about this, okay.
What's it for, do you know?
Auto repair shop.
Auto repair, yeah, light auto repair.
Is he doing the same thing that Hunt's is doing? I mean, is it a direct competitor to Hunt's? Is that what it is?
Not a direct competitor, so they essentially buy cars and then resell them.
Oh, I guess.
So he won't have to work out of his tent anymore?
Right. That was removed.
If there are no other questions on the proposed ordinance, if we could read it, if we consider the ordinance by reading by title only, please. First reading.
An ordinance approving the major commercial center, Lot 1C site plan as submitted by Frank's Auto Shop.
Make a motion?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving the major commercial center, Lot 1C site plan as submitted by Frank's Auto Shop.
Move to approve on second reading.
I'll second.
Pull the board, please.
Alderman Holt.
Aye.
Alderman Lehman.
Aye.
Alderman King.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous and the ordinance is approved. Next item is a motion approving bill number 29, 2026, presented by David Pavlich, our Community Development Director. An ordinance approving the Wilkerson Farm First Plat, Lot 3 site plan as submitted by the Kearney Fire and Rescue Protection District. David?
So he kind of stole my thunder. It's the fire station site plan. They propose a 10,200 square foot building on the east side of Nation Road, a little bit north of 19th Street roundabout. Planning and zoning recommended unanimous approval of this. Nothing really stood out or was discussed that was out of out of the ordinary with this project.
Chief Pratt, before we go to vote, I believe there's a few items you would like to share.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
You got the floor, sir.
Thanks.
Good evening, Mayor Board. Just wanted to really come and thank the city for helping out with our project, taking this under consideration. Also for city staff coordinating the Gateway CID, which is in turn going to help bring water supply to not only our building, but that entire area that's set for development. Obviously, hard to have a fire station with no water, so greatly appreciate that. As you remember, the district voters overwhelmingly voted to support the construction of the fire station back in August of '24 by about 75%. So there was a will and a desire to have that station reduce response times and have services closer to the west side of town. Along with that, our bonds were sold in '25. If you guys are familiar with bonds, those are largely supposed to be expended within 36 months. So we are rapidly approaching the halfway mark there. So our design team, architect, general contractor are all working diligently to get everything finalized so we can get moving. On target for a mid-year next year opening, June, July is what we're targeting. And just kind of an update, should everything go as planned right now, they would plan to start doing site prep early July, wrap that up at the end of July, and then the site has to sit for compression reasons for about 60 days. So then we'd be under construction about October. Otherwise, yeah, I kind of want to give you an update. I don't get in front of the board here very often, but on behalf of our board and our district staff, we greatly appreciate the relationship we've got with the city. Look forward to getting this project done. And I'd take any questions if you got anything.
Any questions from the board?
No.
This looks like it's going to look a lot like Station 1.
I mean, similar, yeah, it's not exactly. But,
Right.
you know, generally, all areas inside, easy flow to the outside, you know, to get an apparatus and things like that, out the door quicker. Individual sleeping quarters, just a more modernized station by today's standard.
Now, are you gonna fully man this, or are you gonna kind of rotate between two?
To start with, we'll increase our staffing to 11 a day, so we'll be adding 6 people. So it'll be 5 in each station, plus a chief on duty every day. That'll be based out of the station here in town. And then, as we need to add, we can add. We're able to expand people in that building as well.
It's also new equipment.
We have new equipment on the way, yeah, so we're kind of juggling timelines, yeah. 2 pumpers should be in about June, so,
Of this year?
of next year.
Okay.
Yeah, about the time the building's done, so.
Yeah, I saw an
We're
article.
trying to manipulate that schedule, but
Yeah, I saw an article on the news that fire trucks are 2 and 3 years.
they are indeed, yeah. We ordered these, January of last year.
Wow.
They'll be in mid next year, so about 2.5 years.
Chief, exciting time for our community and appreciate your appreciation. I'll tell you, Shelley and her team have worked tirelessly, and Sheila and Carolyn and everybody, David. And so proud of our staff, and we're proud of the results here and look forward to seeing some dirt return soon.
Absolutely, thanks.
All right, thank you, sir. So if we can if we could read the proposed ordinance first reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving the Wilkerson Farm First Plat Lot 3 site plan as submitted by the Kearney Fire and Rescue Protection District.
Move to approve on first reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance approving the Wilkerson Farm First Plat Lot 3 site plan as submitted by the Kearney Fire and Rescue Protection District.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Pull the board, please.
Alderman Lehman.
Aye.
Alderman King.
Aye.
Alderman Holt.
Aye.
The vote is unanimous and the ordinance is approved. We'll move on to resolutions. We have first resolution this evening is a motion approving resolution 28, 2026 presented by Eric Marshall, our Parks and Recreation Director, And I think we're also going to get an update from Mr. Dan Colt as well from the Festival Committee, Inc. But that is a resolution approving an agreement between the City of Kearney, Missouri and the Jesse James Festival, Inc. to provide public service support for the annual Jesse James Festival in Kearney, Missouri in September 2026. Eric?
Thank you very much. This is about the third or fourth time we've done a public service agreement with the Jesse James Festival. It outlines all the aspects that the city, the different departments within the city does to help prepare for the Jesse James Festival. And also included in the public service agreement is what the Jesse James Festival will be providing for their annual event in September, the second and third weekend of September. So it's pretty darn similar to what we've done in the past, but make sure we do it each year and send that off to Dan Colt, the president, make sure everything's agreed upon.
Any questions from the board on staff's presentation? Mr. Colt, do you have anything to add, sir?
Eric, wanted me to reach out and talk a little bit about last year. Things went very well, the weather was good. I want to throw a little appreciation out to Sheila for coming to our meeting and speaking with our committee. Taking the time to do that, very kind of you. Our relationship with the park board, Eric and the park board, Ryan, we appreciate that very much so, and our partners with Knights of Columbus. So with all that, we can't do it all by ourselves. That's not the business. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And is it too early to talk about anything coming up for this coming up festival? Is it too, okay,
It's a little early.
sure,
But, we're working diligently.
okay. Fair. If there are no other questions or items of discussion, if we can entertain a motion approving Resolution 28, 2026, a resolution approving an agreement between the City of Kearney, Missouri and Jesse James Festival, Inc. to provide public service support for the annual Jesse James Festival in Kearney, Missouri in September 2026.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Next item is a motion approving Resolution 31, 2026, presented by Stephanie Harris, our Finance Director, a resolution approving an engagement letter with Hood and Associates CPAs PC to audit the city's financial records for fiscal year 2026. Stephanie?
Thank you, Mayor. A little self-explanatory by the title, but this resolution is to approve the engagement letter for the completion of the fiscal year 26 financial statement audit. Trout Beaman and Company, our former auditors, was purchased by Hood and Associates earlier this year, and our on-site auditors and audit partner are not anticipated, or they are anticipated to continue staffing this audit. So no real change internally, more of a name change externally for the firm, but if anybody has any questions.
Any questions for Stephanie on her report? To entertain a motion approving Resolution 31, 2026, a resolution approving an engagement letter with Hood and Associates CPAs PC to audit the city's financial records for fiscal year 2026.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Resolution is approved. Next item is a motion approving Resolution 32, 2026, presented by Eric Marshall, a resolution approving a food truck vendor agreement with Lou Rodriguez doing business as Four Bears to allow on-site food and refreshment food truck vendor sales on city-owned properties during youth and adult sports programming and other events. Eric?
Thank you very much. This resolution is a new vendor food truck that would like to do support our athletic programs, both adult and recreation, by having a food truck on site, and we hope this will pass.
Any questions on the resolution?
Have you had his food?
We have not.
Have you?
No.
I have, and I believe it's a her,
Oh,
but it's really good. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Good enough for me.
All right, if we can, entertain a motion approving Resolution 32, 2026, a resolution approving a food truck vendor agreement with Lou Rodriguez doing business as Four Bears to allow on-site food and refreshment food truck vendor sales on city-owned properties during youth and adult sports programming and other events.
Move to approve on first reading.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Next item is a motion approving Resolution 33, 2026, a resolution approving a food truck vendor agreement with Jaded Dreams LLC, doing business as Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Liberty, to allow on-site food and refreshment food truck vendor sales on city-owned properties during youth and adult sports programming and other events. Eric?
Again, this is much of the same, new food vendor for us, providing vendor sales on our youth and adult sporting activities and other special events as well.
I've had Tom's Coffee, it's pretty good.
Me too.
If we could entertain a motion approving Resolution 33, 2026, a resolution approving a food truck vendor agreement with Jaded Dream LLC, doing business as Travelin' Tom's Coffee of Liberty, to allow on-site food and refreshment food truck vendor sales on city-owned properties during youth and adult sports programming and other events.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Next is a motion approving Resolution 34, 2026, a resolution approving a food truck vendor agreement with Cool Ideas LLC, doing business as Kona Ice of Clay County, North Kansas City, to allow on-site food and refreshment food truck vendor sales on city-owned properties during youth and adult sports programming and other events. Eric?
And again, much of the same, new food vendor to vend their products at our events.
Are these just for events?
They will be at all of our youth activities, whether it's soccer out at Jesse James and/or games out at Mac Porter. This also allows them to do special events such as the homecoming parade, Jesse James parade, different things of that nature.
Pickleball?
We do have one Lou's with are going to be our main feature out at the pickleball. We've had requests to do that, so she will be there, but the Kona Ice would also like to be there as well. And they don't compete.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Kona Ice, they live just outside of town, right? Are they local people?
They are down in Liberty, North Kansas City area. They're the Travelin' Tom's and Kona Ice are pretty much the same organization, except they have two different names.
Cool, I go by a house outside of town here and there's a trailer sitting there in their driveway at Dakota Ice.
I know they have many
Jesse James.
different trucks.
So it's the same people?
I don't know if it would be that one, but
Okay, yeah.
it's with the actual
Yeah,
company.
because I was thinking maybe they lived here in, off Jesse James.
If we can entertain a motion approving Resolution 34, 2026, a resolution approving a food truck vendor agreement with Cool Ideas LLC, doing business as Kona Ice of Clay County, North Kansas City, to allow on-site food and refreshment food truck vendor sales on city-owned properties during youth and adult sports programming and other events.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Pull the board. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Next item is a motion approving Resolution 35, 2026, a resolution approving an independent contractor agreement with Limitless Martial Arts LLC to instruct, supervise, and oversee martial arts clinics and lessons. Eric?
Thank you very much. This resolution is about adding another program to our park department. Ryan reached out to Limitless Martial Arts, and this would just be an introduction to martial arts, and we are working with their schedule, but this would be done in one of our parks. We haven't decided the Lions, Mac, or at Jesse, but they're excited. I was happy with Ryan to reach out, and because we've had some people that don't like to go to the actual, they're intimidated by the formal setting, and this would give them an introduction to see if they would like to further on.
Is there a charge for that?
There is, and it's in the agreement. We would receive $5 per registration. They would receive the 75, but we would collect all of the signups because we would do it online, and then we would pay them and we would keep the $5 fee.
If there are no other questions, if we can entertain a motion approving Resolution 35, 2026, a resolution approving an independent contractor agreement with Limitless Martial Arts LLC to instruct, supervise, and oversee martial arts clinics and lessons.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Last resolution for consideration this evening is a motion approving Resolution 36, 2026, a resolution replacing Resolution 74, 2025, and approving a reservation of park agreement for the Jesse James Park Pavilion between the Kearney Lions Club and the city of Kearney, Missouri. Eric?
Thank you very much. This, as you mentioned, repeals of a previous resolution as they changed the date to June 20th. Originally, it was going to be a week earlier, but there was another wine fest at that time. They didn't want to compete against each other, so this resolution will allow them to have their wine fest, and they are going to be in conjunction with the Maryville Lions Club to help put that event on at the Jesse James Pavilion. And it will be the day after the watch party, June 20th.
Great. If we can entertain a motion to approve Resolution 36, 2026, a resolution replacing Resolution 74, 2025, and approving a reservation of park agreement for the Jesse James Park Pavilion between the Kearney Lions Club and the city of Kearney, Missouri.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. We'll move on the agenda. We only have one item under items for review and presentation this evening, and we have our March monthly financial report presented by our finance director, Stephanie Harris. Stephanie?
Thank you. In your packet is the March 31st, 2026 financial statements. Year end, so this is our full year's activity in the annual column. These are our unaudited amounts, so some of these amounts will change when you see the final audited financial statements to meet accounting and reporting standards. That's to be expected. You will notice that sales tax did come in lower as we have been reporting throughout the year, but use tax did come in higher. So again, it looks a little bit like there is a transfer of more online ordering. But that, and probably the only other significant things is we sold quite a bit more spaces at the cemetery than we had anticipated. Don't necessarily know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Good for the city, maybe bad for some families. The park had less money than anticipated because we had a couple programs that were planned but then didn't materialize, but it was not a significant number. And then towards the back of the report, you'll see several projects in construction didn't happen during the year that had been anticipated, but that will continue to be budgeted in the next year. It's just a timing thing as far as grant money being received and construction beginning. So I don't know if anybody saw anything they had questions about.
The things that stuck out to me you hit on. I always like to see when our revenues are better than expected. And so if you could make sure those banks keep on paying us those higher rates, that would be great.
We'll work on that.
Any questions on our financial report? Great, thank you for the report. Only item I have under Mayor's Communications this evening is I am asking the board's consensus and support of my appointment of Alderman Ashton King once again as our Parks Board representative. So if the board could entertain a motion approving my appointment of Ashton King as the Parks Board representative for an additional year, I would appreciate that.
Do you want to be on the board?
Of course.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you for that support. Thank you, Ashton, for continuing to serve in that capacity. We'll move on to City Administrator report.
Eric is gonna talk about the amphitheater summer concerts and the Food and Flicks Fridays, and then Carolyn is gonna talk about the Cleats and Beats Watch Party. And I'm just gonna remind everybody that our next meeting will be right here on May 4th at 6:30 p.m.
And I did plug this at the CCEDC breakfast, which so hopefully we get a lot of out-of-town folks here for that.
I'd like to report to you the amphitheater concerts, which are coming up this summer. Our first one is Friday, June 19th. That follows the watch party out at Jesse James Park. And that concert will start approximately 4:30 p.m. Immediately following the conclusion of the soccer match. Our next concert is Friday, July 3rd. That will be at 7:30 to 9 p.m. Featuring Shiprocked, and then the fireworks will follow that concert immediately after. Excuse me. The third concert is Friday, July 17th at 7:30 p.m. Featuring Sounds of Santana. And then the final concert will be Saturday, August 29th at 7:30 p.m. Featuring Outlaw Jim and the Whiskey Benders. Our Food and Flicks Fridays, our movies in the park. I'd like to let you all know that Costantino's Price Chopper of Kearney has again this year agreed to sponsor our 4 movies. Each movie is over $500, and they are contributing $2,000 of sponsorship. So we thank them for that. Kicking off will be Friday, June 12th, SpongeBob movie, The Search for SquarePants. The next one is Friday, June 26th, the Barbie movie. Friday, July 31st, Lilo and Stitch. And then the final movie will be Friday, August 14th, and that movie will be Superman. And our movie season this year is going to be completed prior to the Friday nights of the football games. And the following Friday, that would be the 21st, I think, is the high school football jamboree. So we got it done. That way we're not taking away from people going to either of those, but we don't want to conflict with another organization and support the kids, so.
It always blows my mind, Eric, when on football season, when everybody wants to know where everybody is on Friday nights.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Right.
we know where the town is on Friday nights.
So anyway, we're excited about our concerts and also our Food and Flicks. And again, thanks to Costantino's Price Chopper, and like to let everyone know we've had Colleen designing the banners for our Food and Flicks with the Costantino logo on there, and had a great meeting with Jason Tackett out at Costantino's the other day with Carolyn. So that's my report. Thank you.
And we appreciate our local grocery store. So,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And then Carolyn.
Carolyn.
All right, so good evening. I'm excited to provide an update on Kearney's plans for the 2026 World Cup, specifically our community watch party event, Cleats and Beats. So we think it's a really cool name. It's a unique opportunity for our city to be part of a global celebration while creating fun local experiences for our residents, the Kansas City Metro, and visitors from around the world. Happy to share that we've officially received our public viewing license from FIFA, which was a huge relief. We received it actually officially through Fox Sports, so game on. We plan to really ramp up our marketing efforts now, especially across social media, and we plan to send out our first press release this week to generate excitement across the region. To give a quick overview of how everything fits together, KC 2026 is leading all aspects of the official matches, including the Fan Fest at Liberty Memorial, as well as the airport and match day logistics. And meanwhile, Go North, created by Clay and Platte County Tourism, is focused on keeping visitors here in the Northland with 7 official watch parties and bringing a consistent look and feel with a 20-foot soccer ball display, a branded entry arch, and 4 murals of legendary players. The one I remember, aging myself here, is Pele and Messi. So, and 2 others. I'm not sure who they are. But they will be there, the murals will. So Kearney's event, Cleats and Beats, will take place on Friday, June 19th at Jesse James Park. It's a free all-day, family-friendly celebration from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and there is truly something for everyone. We'll kick things off with a youth soccer camp that's hosted by Challenger Soccer Club. That'll be from 11 to 1. Kids can also enjoy bounce houses from 11 to 3. Families can choose from a variety of food trucks and relax in a shaded picnic area. And the Knights of Columbus will be serving food and beverages at the Amphitheater Pavilion. And the disc golf course will be open all day. At 2 p.m., we'll watch the USA take on Australia on a giant outdoor screen. And then we'll keep the energy going with a live concert by the band called Bangers from 4:30 to 6:30. People are welcome to join us for the entire day or simply come out for whatever event that they are most excited about. We do encourage guests to bring blankets and lawn chairs, but we do ask that they leave coolers at home. Right now, we are also looking for volunteers to help make this event a success. So the flyer that is at your dais this evening does contain a QR code for anybody who's interested in signing up to be a volunteer. We would certainly appreciate that. Our official flyer will be released in May. That QR code will then link directly to the city's web page, which will have all of the event details. So I do want to let you know that city staff has been working hard on this event for well over a year, attending regional World Cup planning meetings, Go North planning meetings, and hosting our own internal Cleats and Beats planning sessions. We have had, the park department, our core team. Kevin has attended many of the meetings on behalf of Kearney Fire and Rescue, as well as our police chief. So appreciate, it truly has been a team effort. So this is an event. This event is a chance to bring the community together and showcase everything that Kearney has to offer as we welcome visitors from around the metro and across the globe. So please put that on your calendars. Cleats and Beats, June 19th, Jesse James Park. Thank you.
I'm glad you clarified that Messi being at our event will be a mural only. So we don't have 3 million people show up at the park.
Yes, if we can get him here, we will announce it. You will be in town?
Yes, you will.
Good things. Appreciate the update on both of those. Alderman discussion, Alderman Lehman.
First of all, I would like to thank the police chief and Sheila. I had the opportunity to go out to the Excelsior Springs range and watch our officers do live fire training. It was a fun experience. It was really neat to see our officers through interacting with the instructors who are also our employees, and even got to shoot myself, so that was fun. So
Shot yourself.
No, I did not shoot myself. I shot the target. The only other thing I'd like to say is thank you to the community for reelection. It's a humbling experience, sometimes a thankless experience, but I've enjoyed my time on the board and looking forward to the next 2 years.
Great. Thank you, Alderman Lehman. Alderman King?
Again, just thank you for the community for re-electing me. Yeah, it's been good so far. Had a lot of fun. Thanks.
Alderman Holt?
Well, the other day I got stopped by a constituent in my neighborhood and just went on and on, actually your neighbor, who was excited about the new water tower and thought it was cool. And at first she was complaining because it didn't have the same font that the other one had. But now that the other water tower's gone, and she goes, oh, this looks so good. Yeah, it looks so good. So I think that there's some good buzz around this new water tower. It shows progress. What's really nice is it looks like it's been there for a long time. It doesn't look like it's, some new thing, but it is, and it's making our town look good. I think that, there's a lot of people that they never want progress while it's happening because things are tore up, things are whatever, but they really like it when it's done. I think this is another one of those projects that the town's real proud of now that we got our water tower right here on the highway where you can really see it and it really looks big. And because it's our welcoming to Kearney is the water tower. You can see it for miles up and down the highway. And I think that our residents are proud that we did put it there instead of someplace else.
Great. We do have an executive session noticed up this evening, a closed session per RSMO 610021, subsection 2, leasing, purchase, or sale of real estate by public governmental body where public knowledge of the transaction might adversely affect the legal consideration, therefore, and RSMO 610021, subsection 12, to discuss matters pertaining to negotiated contracts, and RSMO 610021, subsection 13, for individually identifiable personnel records, performance ratings, or records pertaining to employees or applicants for employment. And our meeting will be adjourned from the closed session. So this does conclude our open public portion of the meeting. If the board can consider a motion to enter into executive session.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Alderman King?
Aye.
Alderman Holt? Alderman Lehman?
Vote is unanimous. Everybody have a nice evening. Thank you for